Hello, and welcome. This is ABT News with your hosts, Stephen Ortega, Evan Backstabber, and Mikkel Jordan. Hello, I am Stephen Ortega. I'm with you tonight. For our first segment, we have a lot of reports of people rioting in the streets because of this draft. Now to you, Evan Backstabber, on the scene. Alright, thank you, Stephen Ortega. I'm here in the fields of New York, where we're a little bit more... Oh my goodness, there's somebody back there. We're just a little bit more safe than we were in the streets of New York, where there's a lot of people rioting and getting a fuss. I have this woman with me here. She's in terrible distress from all the riots and the people being forced into fighting. What do you have to say in this matter?
Thank you, Evan. I'm outraged at what this draft has done to the many left at home. My husband, Johnny, and 2 boys went to the war over a month ago and left me and my children to do all the work. My daughter is only 13 and staying at home every day from school to help me feed the animals and keep our farm running. My younger boys are being taught in school that fighting is cool and bragging about their older brothers at the war. They play games at home because they don't know what's going on. How could the government let this happen to our country?
As she said, government is a terrible thing. Now back to you, Stephen Ortega. Thank you, Backstabber. That was quite an interesting story. Sounds like it's I guess it's violent out there. On a lighter note, our studio today, we have author Harriet Beecher Stowe, who just came out with a new book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Harriet, can you tell us about this sick book of yours?
Well, thank you. This is a story about a family of slaves who are being sold. Arthur cannot afford to keep all of his slaves and sells Uncle Tom. He was going to sell Harry, his maid's son, but Eliza runs away with Harry. Harry and Eliza are hunted, and Tom goes to live with a man who offered to free Tom. He dies before this happens, and Tom is sold to Simon Legree. Legree begins to hate Tom when he refuses Legree's order to whip his fellow slave. Uncle Tom almost loses all hope as he is tested by the hardships of the plantation, though he has 2 visions that restore his hope. When Tom refuses to tell Legree where 2 of the slaves have gone, Legree sets orders to kill Tom. As Tom is dying, he forgives those who beat him. George arrives to buy Tom's freedom, but he finds he is too late.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. She's gone. And her glasses are still here. Alrighty. In other news, we have Mikkel Jordan out in the fields today. He's going to give us a report about the military issues going on. To you, Mikkel. Hello, I'm Mikkel Jordan. I'm out here on the field to tell you about the military issues in this Civil War. We have a lot to catch people up on right now. Right now, Robert E. Lee is no longer for the Union side. The traitors left us. First, our new general is George McClellan. That was our first general. He caused many deaths in the Battle of Antietam. He is a terrible general. That was like the worst war of ever American history right here. Second, this is General Burnside. Look at the guy. Bad general. You don't put somebody looking like that as a general. Like, you can't take him seriously. Next up, we put a Hooker in charge. General Hooker, I mean, I could see why you'd hire a Hooker as a general, but I don't think they're good for tactics. Anyway, third, Meade. I see the start of Prohibition right here. No, you don't put him as general either. And right now, we have a general named Ulysses S. Grant. He just likes to send a whole lot of people in there to shoot stuff up. Might be good tactics, might not be. A lot of people die on both sides. Hey, it gets the job done. It's raining. Alrighty. Alright, let's get out of here. It's raining. Hello. I want that waffle. Oh. I'm back. Alright, thank you, Mikkel. We'll be back soon with a commercial break, right? We're commercial break. Yeah, we're off.
The South is coming. Don't be like this fool. Get yourself a new gun today for $19.99. Telegraph to ... You will have your new gun in a couple weeks. Only Union money accepted at this time.
And we're back. That was an interesting commercial about guns. Now let's go live to Evan Backstabber on the field with Lincoln Abraham about his future goals for our Union or Confederacy, whichever one wins. We'll see. Thank you, Stephen Ortega, but we're actually not in the field. We're in Lincoln's studio here, and we're going to interview him about his plans for our future. Okay, let's start with the current problem from the North. So far in this war, the Northern generals have not been the best. How do you plan on fixing that?
Well, the main problem that our generals have had so far is they won't push in as far as they can after the battle has almost concluded. So we plan on finding someone who won't be scared to continue fighting, which we think we have in Ulysses S. Grant.
Wouldn't that cause too many Northern casualties?
Whatever we can do to end the war.
Interesting. So once the war is concluded, what are the plans for the rebelling states?
Well, hopefully by the end of the war, the slaves will be free and we can make them citizens of the United States.
Really? Do you think that equality thing is a great idea?
Well, they are people too. Why not? I mean, as long as they can't vote, then what's the big deal?
Ha! Yeah, that'd be crazy. If that happened, we might as well let the women vote too. Ha! That concludes this interview. Now back to you, Stephen Ortega. Thanks, Evan Backstabber, sorry. So far tonight, we've talked about the draft, the story of Uncle Tom, the generals in our civil... That is an ugly banana. Generals in our Civil War and how we can arm ourselves against the Confederacy. And lastly, we talked about our future plans for this nation. Pizza rolls, we're off tonight. I'll see you later tonight if you want to see how you're watching this when you don't have TVs yet. And find out if Smokey the Bear survives the forest fire. That's all. See ya, folks.